Good afternoon. It's Tuesday, the 25th of March. We're here in Champaign, Illinois, the United States of America. My name is Al Molina, or Alvaro Molina, and we are originally from Nicaragua, Central America. And we left our country in 2018, right before the pandemic, fleeing because of violence and political instability. We drove about 25,000, about 3,000 miles, just looking for a place to settle down. And we found a home. We explored the university and settled down here. And then our 8-year-old, he ended up at Dr. Howard, and our 11-year-old ended up at Edison Middle School. Since then, I've been involved with this district, advocating in several areas such as recycling, composting, bullying and molesting, the teacher shortage by hiring bilingual teachers, and encouraging the district to hire and sponsor bilingual teachers. The problems that we face are quite substantial, and we are in the richest country in the face of this planet, and I don't see why we cannot eliminate most of the problems that are associated with public education. Since intimidation and retaliation is very, very prevalent with the teachers and also with parents, that has been my experience. We have a very bad image regionally. And then since the board of directors has been divided over the years, it's pretty much a disaster because it's not functioning. There's always a lot of grievances and fights, and everybody knows it because it's broadcast live. So all that turmoil doesn't help us. It doesn't help the region. It doesn't help the city. And we just need to recruit and retain amazing teachers and amazing bilingual teachers. But when they start reading in the news all the issues that we have here, it discourages people for settling down. And then when they do settle, because of the university is our biggest driver of jobs, people have a tendency to just go somewhere else. They get a place in Tolono or St. Joseph or Monticello, beautiful Monticello. And then we lose all that tax base that just leaves our area. So a lot of the main questions that we've been getting as candidates, I'm running for one of the seats, 4-year term for the School Board of Education. It's related to the contract that will be up for grab next month. So some people are saying that we're trying to fire the superintendent. No, it's just that the contract will be up for review. And then some people already made up their mind as far as what are they going to do with the reviews. Well, from visiting the public comments and giving my public comments during the board meetings, it's clear to me that the division took place because of the fact that our superintendent, Dr. Sheila Boozer, has sided with certain members of the board, and we ended up with 3-3. So when you don't have a consensus, a quorum, then you don't have decisions. So the Booker T. Washington dilemma, there was a school that was dismantled. That school, that could have been prevented if we had a functioning board. But since 3 were with the superintendent that agreed with what was going on at Booker T. Washington, then the other 3 did not, then individually the board members could not intervene. So we have a lot of problems with communications. We're blessed that these new candidates are very diverse. We have people from South Korea, we have people from India, we have people from Malaysia, from Nicaragua, where I'm from. We have American Italian from Florence, Italy. and of course, a couple of African Americans and a couple of Caucasians, Europeans. So the problem we face is that our district relies too heavily on AI to translate their documents without anybody proofreading them. So if the person writing the text in English and he wants to translate it into Spanish or French, if that person doesn't have the abilities to read those other languages and correct them, then the text ends up, the translations end up pretty bad. So that's been going on for a while, even before AI translations came about. So my take on this is that the district needs to hire a few bilingual individuals that can very quickly proofread a text. So it doesn't take that much because the AI and translations now, they're just amazing. As long as you have bilingual people that can read, write, and speak both languages and make the proper corrections before they're sent to the parents. So therefore, there's probably around 25% of our population that is pretty much always in the dark because everything is written in English, and when they are translated with mistakes, and we don't have the personnel because we have failed to hire, retain, and sponsor bilingual teachers or bilingual personnel, which it should be a priority. There's no reason why we cannot hire and retain amazing, incredible bilingual teachers that are currently working in Latin America and most of the American schools, which carry the U.S. curriculum. So what we have is an ineptitude or the desire to hire these people that are more than eager to come over here and help us out and develop this region as maybe a bilingual district, or trilingual district. But we need to start early. We need to start in kindergarten and then develop a program where languages will be throughout the kids' children's education until they reach 6th grade and middle school. And then once they hit high school, I volunteer at Central High School on Thursdays. And what you get is a lot of these children, they never had any languages, and they struggle with the Spanish, and they struggle with the French. Some of them just bailed out and dropped the classes. It shouldn't be that way. We have to start teaching languages starting at preschool and even kindergarten. One of the issues that we have is the obsolete, antiquated agrarian calendar. That was set up for agriculture back in the days when children were helping the farmers. Nowadays, society has changed dramatically, and now you have, it's very common to have the couple, two-person workers. You know, mom and dad are working, and that's the only way to survive. But when the calendar, with the school days, the schedules are from 7:30 to 2:30, then you have to have like a customized job that will fit those schedules. So therefore, a lot of people just either don't work or get fired. And then when summer comes, you have the same issues again. It's not set up for today's society, this agrarian calendar. So therefore, what you end up getting is a summer slag or summer learning lost, because every year you lose 2.5 months of education. There are many options for that, and one of the main drivers to eliminating the summer learning lost is the balanced calendar. We had that balanced calendar in 2 schools here, and it was eliminated because this nonprofit came in and consultant services, and they decided that that needed to be done in order to improve our transportation system, which basically is still decrepit. We have a lot of problems with bus drivers. So that's another thing, because the bus system is not reliable. It forces parents to get on the ball and drive their kids instead of being at work. You'll be surprised how many cars are in an IPA or Central way before 7:30. By 7 o'clock, there's people already lining up to go to work. So is not sustainable. We need to also create some sort of a preschool education so moms can drop off their 3-year-olds and it will be covered by the taxpayers. So that's the only way I can see this community flourishing economically, because we need to have people working and people working in decent jobs. But having kids in this country is very difficult because the setup that exists, it goes against the working families. So I'm here to help out. I have a lot of experiences in education, in higher education, hire a bunch of professors over my years to develop biological stations in Central America, in Nicaragua and Costa Rica. Created hotels. I created a school. That's the school that my kids attended. It's called the Ometepe Bilingual School. It's free of charge. We don't charge a penny. The community members that want to send their kids there, they just show up and we'll take them in. It's financed by the profits, the profits of the hotel. So it's a way of giving back to the community through education. So the school itself is bankrolled by our profits and our efforts. And that's the way we created the school. So it's a private school that runs on the government curriculum. So we have a lot of flexibility. We hire bilingual teachers. We don't have a problem with that. Government streamline education for people for free. So there's no lack of teachers. They're well trained, as we know. And to prove that is my 2 kids that landed over here, and all they knew was education in one of the second poorest country in the Americas. So I believe that the educational system can be turned around and try to tackle a lot of the problems that we have with duplicate rules and duplicate regulations and bureaucracy. So you have a bunch of layers. You start out with the federal government, then you got the state, then you have the cities, and then you have the district itself with their own policies. So it's policies over policies over policies. So you have people working in our district that they have to devote a great deal of time just to be able to recite or learn all these amounts of regulations. And they become, over the years, so well versed that they will tell you, you can't do this, you can't do that. You can't even serve popcorn with olive oil. That's what I was told the other day during the wellness committee, because the government considers that it's too fattening. So anyway, we are here to make a difference and nothing else. And I have the desire. I will do this full time. I will have office hours because the public comments are pretty much ignored. Nobody answers when you sign that little piece of paper, put an X and just say, get back to me. That hasn't happened to me, and it hasn't happened to most likely anybody in the community. Therefore, this is supposed to be a way of communicating for the community to express themselves to the board and to the administration. But since very often that is ignored, I believe that the best way to do this, to improve communications with the community, is to have office hours, to make myself available maybe 5 days a week or 3 times a week, 1 or 2 hours. I don't know how much we're going to need. But once I get the feedback from the community, that should break the ice. And since I speak Spanish, I can also communicate with my fellow Latin Americans. And then I'll bring all the problems to the board and the concerns to the board, and then for the board to address that with the superintendent. We have nothing against the superintendent. It's just that the system has to be completely overhauled. And if people here in this town keep doing the same and the same and the same, we're just going to be circling around the same problems without coming up with solid long-term solutions. So it's critical for this District 4, to become the amazing district in the state of Illinois. And then you will start attracting all kinds of talent and all kinds of people from all over the world. The university is a driving force, hiring people all over the place. So I think it's critical for us to turn this around. And I believe I have the skills, the know-how, and the entrepreneurial skills to come up with solid long-term solutions. And that's what we're here for. We're here for to make a difference with me, my two kids, my wife, and nothing else. Have a wonderful evening.